Oh my goodness. This morning was a total disaster. So, what I usually do, right, is try and prepare school for my middle two, Amrasa and Mikaya, who are 9 and 8 years old. And now, here's the thing. The twins have been napping. Well, they stopped napping this year. They had 2 nap times all along, which ended this year. Now, when you are me and totally sick and always sick, that's a bit of a problem because you don't have energy. But people, even when my first babies were babies, well, now they're turning 19 this year, my firstborn, even then, I needed his nap time. And he napped for a long time. And then when he ended his napping, he'd already learned to read. They learned to read at age 4 and 3. We used Starfall, so we just read the words and they learn to read. So by 5 and 4, they were literally, truly reading books, babies' books, children's books on their own. They didn't need help. Slowly, but they were reading. Now, we come to my middle two who need lots of help. At this age, it's not to compare and say, oh, this one is worse, but it's just to show how difficult it is. At this age, my older two were doing everything on their own. Literally, I would give them a science textbook and they would just read and answer the questions, and that's it. All I did was to give them the work they should do for the day and just check that they are doing it. I was supervising more than teaching already by age 9 and 8. And then I would set out exams, I would mark their work. It was different. This time, as you know already the executive functioning problems and all. I don't know how many of you, none of you would, but I did say to my husband, and I think to my best friend, I said to them, I get the feeling that by the time the twins are 5 years old, they will be at a higher academic level than the middle two. Just because of the problems they have, the intellectual impairment, the global delay, all of that, the learning disability. Yeah, I just felt that by 5, we will see an imbalance where now the 5-year-old knows more or can do more. Yes, can do more. What I didn't factor into the equation was that I would have twins who are autistic. I am telling you they're autistic because I know it. My daughter knows it, my teenager. We all know it. So, and I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong. Though with my girl, my 9-year-old, I'm not sure there. People have also asked, and I'm an ADHD, and it's, who knows, hey? They overlap so much. So I really can't tell with my 9-year-old. Though there are things that make me do think, besides the things that I added in the video last time about that crazy professor, there are things like her SPD, her sensory processing disorder is more than just sensory processing disorder, which can and does stand alone without autism. But besides the texture issue, she also has preferences. Like she wants a specific chair to sit on. Those little things. And she wants to follow a routine, which is not really common for ADHD. Generally, it's not. It is more along the lines of autistic. So honestly, I would say she's ADHD. That's how they write it. AUDHD. A, big A, little U, DHD in capitals. I believe my daughter is there. And unfortunately, many of them only get truly diagnosed when they're adults because people don't want to see it. So, I'll leave it for my 9-year-old. I'll leave things as they are because you won't treat it any differently to how you're treating her now. But now we've got my 4-year-old twins, one who also seems to have an intellectual impairment, though, as the people have also said, the neurologist and the clinical psychologist who each diagnosed her, confirmed we can't tell because her symptoms of autism are so overwhelming that they could be hiding her true intelligence or a true intellectual ability. So it's hard to tell. Hey guys, it's really hard to know. If she understands, don't jump on the sofa. If her brain is shouting some other message, whereas it could be that she really doesn't understand what you're saying. She might know sofa, she might know jump, but she doesn't understand the word don't. So we don't know with her. But now my 4-year-old, her sister, Nene or Nalo, wow, she is a firecracker. As I said, they napped and then they stopped napping. Now, you can ask most autistics and they will tell you that they need time to decompress. They need time alone, less sensory input, just time to take a break, or time to just indulge in their favorite activities without noise and smells and whatever else. So that's how I treated both twins, seeing as we suspect or believe, well, we are sure they're both autistic, right? That is perfectly okay, generally, for my very active non-speaker. She wants to go into her room. She will say bedtime or sleep time or pajama time, though she really means let's go to the bedroom. She says it herself. And she will say, okay, now it's time for iPad. Well, she'll say iPad, and then you go in and I show them the things I've recorded, and they look at pictures of things they've done over the weekend. For example, this is what they did this Sabbath. I could not go because my stupid hip decided to freeze up on me. It wasn't really sore. It wasn't actually sore. It was sore on Friday. It's sore today. But Saturday and Sunday, it was frozen. It was like my joint was not a joint. It was stiff. So I was limping. And my husband just felt sorry for me. And he felt I needed rest. And I also thought, it will look weird to be out there in public limping along that dreadfully. So I stayed home and they went out to the garden, Claremont Gardens, Ardern Gardens, and they had fun. Until my girl needed to have her diaper changed, my non-speaker, and then after that she lost it. Something went wrong somewhere and she couldn't handle being there anymore, so they had to cut it short and come home. But they had a nice time. It wasn't like the diaper change happened 5 minutes into their arrival, but it was short. Take it from me, it was short. So on that note, there are many autistic children, and not a few adults autistic, whose bladders are not under control. Some have never been under control, even as adults. They can't feel, the bladder doesn't send them signals that it's full, the nerves are messed up, the bladder muscles are messed up, so it just leaks. It's actually it's there. And especially in many of our non-speaking children, potty training doesn't work. My daughter especially, I'll speak for her, she doesn't show discomfort when she has been in used her diaper. Some children will show you that, okay, I don't like this feeling. She's fine. She can be fine no matter what has happened in her diaper. So there are no cues that we get in advance or afterwards. And toilet, potty, she's not interested. You can try all of the tips. They don't work for her. Plus, she's not a sitter, as I said it before. Why I'm mentioning this is because I saw something in a group, Autism in Humor in Autism, something like that, where they were so happy people. This is why I'm mentioning it. It wasn't only me. Many of us were so happy that Huggies apparently now, or has had, new a size 8. Unfortunately, Huggies it carries more for our girl, but it's too narrow around the waist for her waist, and that plastic thing they have, it cuts into her, so we can't use Huggies size 6. Pampers size 6 is getting small. Pampers size 7 is not common. It's only in pull-up version from what we've seen. And it's not in all Clicks, not in all Dis-Chem. It's rare. So when you see it, you take it. And at the shop, when I first saw it recently, there was only one and I took it. It worked better. It fitted better. Yesterday, we took 2. But the thing is, we don't always have size 7 Pampers. So what then? We went to look at the adult section. They don't have size small in the Clicks brand, which is cheaper. Hey, you got to look at the finances too, guys. We're not made of money. We are a family of 8, and there are other people we need to also take care of and help. So there is Molicare, which has size 6, size small, but it's expensive. Like the Clicks brand was 200 and something. Molicare is 400 and something for like basically the same number of items. So it's fewer in the pack than Pampers and Huggy in the pack. So yeah, so we looked. There was no size small in anything except Molicare, which is super, super expensive. No other brands had size small. So that was yesterday. And so today, when I saw that, I just I really hope that they will bring those bigger sizes to South Africa. I saw comments saying Pampers even make size 8. As I said, even size 7 is rare. So to know that there's size 8, please bring it to South Africa. Please hear us. In the South African autism groups, people tell us to use adult size small because there's no in between. I hope someone out there who knows someone in manufacturing or in buying, if you're buying from overseas, please make it in bigger sizes, or otherwise please Clicks make your brand available in size small, your pull-ups and your diapers either. In fact, diapers are actually better. So please do that for us. We need them. We will buy them. Yeah. And if it doesn't work for her now at 28 kgs, it might work for her later. So please, or it will work for other children, because there are many of us whose children, autistic children, even the verbal ones, are not potty trained and not potty trainable. Now, I saw in the comments many American health insurance companies pay for these, because it's not just a diaper. At that age, it's an incontinence item, and they pay for them. Here, my medical aid only pays if you've got a physical disability, but otherwise, if you've got autism or whatever else, another intellectual issue that stops you from being able to take care of your bladder or to control your bladder, too bad. You're on your own. Your parents are on your own. Your caregivers are on their own. And it's expensive. Really, really expensive. So, yes, if you know someone who knows someone, or if you are someone who can do something, please bring the bigger sizes of diapers in, please. Back to homeschool. Yes. So, I planned each child's homeschool lesson. My 4-year-old, who talks a lot, Nene, has shown interest in writing and in just doing school like her older siblings. She's not interested in just playing anymore. So I thought, okay, fine. I feel like it's early to do formal school, but she wants to. So let's do it. So I planned that I will begin first teaching my middle 2, and then 20 minutes later, then we will do a joint class where the older 2 will have done their formal school and they can just get on with whatever they're doing. I was going to do a maths thing where they circle the O's and we try to understand that 0 means nothing, which they do understand, but yeah. So it would have been easy. It's just to reinforce number sense into their heads, what numbers mean. Pah! It didn't happen. My daughter came running out her bedroom. She didn't even have any quiet time. There was no decompressing. She doesn't want to decompress, especially in the morning. Her sister does, but she was on the roll. And, she had been showing signs because she would knock. Hey, I want to come out. the last week, or hey, do this for me, or do that. So I wasn't surprised, but I wasn't ready when I went to print a past paper for my daughter, my teenage daughter. They're writing some more exams this week for AS levels. And I turn around and my girl is in the sink, in the kitchen. No, not in the sink, in the kitchen by the sink. And I'm thinking, you should be in your bedroom so I can teach your siblings and then we'll come to you. No, despite everything she was given to keep her busy, because children should learn to be busy on their own. So we give her things that she likes to keep her busy. Nope, not even 5 minutes of being alone and busy. She was out. And now I'm there trying to teach her siblings. The table isn't that big that we have, especially when you've got books on it and papers. She came out, guys. She was so happy. What am I gonna do? Mommy, what are you going to give me to do? And I'm thinking, nothing right now. I have not planned anything for you. Now is not the time. So I called her to come to the table. Oh my word. We have unofficially diagnosed her with PDA as well, pathological demand avoidance. It is mostly a disorder of anxiety where they feel like there's too much that's out of control, and so it just builds too much anxiety to be told what to do, or to have to do something. It is hard to have to do something. So then they end up not doing it, or not wanting to do it, or having meltdowns, or just shutting down, depending on who the person is who has PDA. We've always been whispering to each other that my daughter, the 4-year-old Nene, has PDA and autism. Yikes! It was disaster. And then also I keep saying, yeah, anyway, I don't want to go into all the labels. It was a disaster. So I said, okay, fine, you can try, like we want to do pre-writing skills. That's what we're doing. That's what her book is about on. But when she came, so sorry, my finger was just stiff. When she came, the other two were busy with something that I only have 2 of, not 3. So I told her to, okay, just sit and wait. And then she then did their work, which was the thing I've shown before, where you trace on plastic, trace the lines, the curves. She did not want to be copying any curves. She wanted to do her own thing. When it came time to do the actual book, she didn't want to go in order, page 1, page 2, page 3. No, mommy, I want to do this. And she took pages to page 10. But the thing is, each page builds for the next skill that will be needed on the next page. So for example, you do a straight line, and then the next page you do a diagonal, and then the next page you must do 2 diagonals, and then the next page you do freehand crosses. So it builds. She was not having it. She wanted to just go from straight line to X's. So, and it's hard, hey, because she's so happy about it. It's like, no, mommy, I want to do my own thing. Meanwhile, at the same time, my daughter is meant to be doing a comprehension. So first she has to read. So we were not even halfway done with the actual reading about farms and sunlight and what we do with God's gifts, which was, what was it? Sunlight and water, and what we do with vegetables, that. So we're trying to do that. Now my children, as you know, all the 2 are already diagnosed with ADHD. So any sudden new distraction will distract them. So now there's this force of nature that has run in, and she would not keep quiet. She doesn't get that, okay, I'm saying that. She doesn't get it. Quiet, she doesn't understand that quiet means no noise, nothing, silence. So I'm trying to read, and she's like, mommy, look, mommy. I'm like, yes, okay, I can see. No, be quiet, Anela. I'm trying to read with Amy. Okay, mommy, look. That was her vision of being quiet. Not even 30 seconds after she had said, okay, mommy. It was chaos for me. It was backbreaking for me, because now I have 3 who are doing 3 different things, each needing me to read with them. My 9-year-old, I have to read with her because she will forget what she has just read. So at least if she reads, I read one sentence, she follows along and she reads aloud the next sentence, then I read aloud the next sentence, so that hopefully more of the information stays in her head. If she reads it on her own quietly, it will not stay. If she reads it on her own loudly, it will not stay in her head. This way, we're both reading, and then I ask questions along the way to reinforce what she has read, so that it sticks more in her memory. How do you do that with a child going, "Mommy, mommy," and now what can I do? "Look, mommy, I've taken the pink one. Look, I'm taking the purple." And then my poor boy now, because I took time that I would have given to him, I took that time giving his sister, young sister, instructions. He's now just sitting there bored because he doesn't know what to do yet. And then I feel guilty because I'm still busy explaining to his 9-year-old sister. It was madness, and it was madness because it was unexpected and because she's not manageable. She really isn't. So that was my morning, guys. It was totally chaotic. We did finish, but everyone now finished at different times, and then she didn't want to finish. She didn't want to stop, but she wasn't even finishing a page, and she was just going on to harder things. It was crazy. I mean, not that she has to finish a whole page, but if it's too difficult, then she will need more help and more instruction. And then she wanted to cut, but she's left-handed, so she needs left-handed scissors. Now, I had not planned on her cutting anytime soon, so I have not bought scissors for left-handed children. I don't even really know how to explain how to write and cut using my left hand. Sometimes she then would swap to the right hand. She's kind of really ambidextrous, but her preference is the left hand. She only then swaps to the right if the page was maybe to the right of her and she didn't think to just move the book this way. It was crazy. But I survived, and I am ready for tomorrow, I think. I'm not ready for tomorrow, but I will now plan for tomorrow also, and hope that she learns to take instruction and try and think of things that they can do that are not at the table. So maybe give her and a sibling, tell them, okay, you guys, I want you to do Play-Doh, or I want you to go lie on your tummies, because that's a good thing to do. Lie on your tummies and color this in, because then it's good for the core and it's just good occupational therapy wise. So then 2 can lie on their tummies and do whatever while I teach 1, and we take it in turns like that. That's what I shall try tomorrow. I have never had this problem. Now is the time. And then in the afternoon, the twin who asks to go to the room wanted to come out way too soon. And she is harder to entertain because she still wants to do impossible things like putting a square block on a round object that is also very slippery, and then she gets frustrated. So that is harder to handle. Also, besides a whirlwind that you can't reason with and wants unreasonable things is hectic. So, my life has gone crazier, become crazier. My back suffered a lot more because now I was bending over 3 children as opposed to 2. So, yeah, but I've survived, guys. I've survived my first day of homeschooling 3 crazy children. If you ever grow up, well, you will grow up. When you see this, I love you guys, but oh my word, that was hard. Even we've got a helper, Queena. Even she was just laughing. It's funny when you're watching it, but when you're going through it and your body is dying, oh, you just want to cry. But I'll choose to laugh as well. So that was our morning of attempted homeschooling. Bye.